I think this is another one that can maybe put you into scraps sometimes as well. So like you roll out here, which is great. You know, he's lost all of his pressure right because he tries to grab where you are, and then first of all you end up shielding here, even though he was whiffing the grab, right? So you have time to move here. So again, another important thing in these scraps, you know, just make sure when you pick an option, you know, you're in your 30 frames of lag or whatever when you're rolling here, you might as well check what he's doing, right? And then the second part here was, you know, after you do this shield, your option then was to jump forward and try and down at him, right?
Yeah, that was trash, though.
Yeah. And I mean, we both know it's trash,
it's
right?
so bad at 0. Like,
yeah. We both know it's trash, but the important thing here is to figure out why is that the first thing that comes to mind, right? So do you have any ideas, like, in the moment, what you're usually thinking about when you do something like that?
I just wanted a big, juicy combo starter. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, you wanted to hit him, right? I'd say that's sort of how I'd describe it. Yeah, so the big thing there is, you know, if you do want to try and hit him here, which is fine, we want to do it in a bit more of a specific way, right? Because we're not at the percent where we can just sort of throw down or out and it's probably going to hit him, right? So I'd say replace that with maybe like wave dashing forward and then trying to do something, right?
Yeah, like shine or grab or something.
Yeah. Or you could jump out of shield with a laser maybe, and then that could catch him, you know, keep him over here, right? So they would be the main things I'd be thinking about if you want to try and like hit him. But also, you know, like you're at 91, he's at 0. You have a stock lead. You know, I might not even be thinking about hitting him here. I might just back off, let him try and come to me, right? Like, play the stage, you know. You've got all this space to work with. It's hard for him to hit you as well as you to hit him, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's fine to play the scraps if you're being specific about how you're going to win them. But it's when we sort of get into this trap of like, oh, I'm just going to throw out a move in this scrap and, you know, hope it works. Like, that's when it gets a bit dicey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Because, yeah, you know, this... You might die here, maybe. Yeah. And, you know, that could have very easily been avoided by just, you know, just roll out, back off, get some lasers out, you know, force him to reset, you know?
Play neutral again.
Yeah.
I think it's just a good idea to get Fox to, like, you know, at least, like, 10% with, like, just lasers before you try and go in. With, like, a down air anyway.
Yeah.
You can, like, almost never combo at 0. Oh, I can't.
Yeah, I will say one thing you could try and do a bit more. So I like how you're spacing at the moment, you know, you're spacing around this, like, jump off, right, with your laser. If you want, sometimes, and this is the good thing about this situation, is you always have the option to just be here, right? But then you can always go up here and threaten him if you want with, like, full hop shine. And this can be really good because a lot of people, or a lot of foxes, what they do, and you'll see him do it in a second, they jump off and they're like, ah, shit, I'm not going to hit him. I'm going to double jump up here, right?
Yeah.
And if you catch him out of that, he's like, I mean, he's not fucked because he's at, like, you know, 3 or whatever. But that's a big opening for you, right?
Yeah, I'd only hit it, like, a couple times, I think, across these 2 sets. But I did actually, like, he was, like, on the top platform a few times. I actually did go up to, like, try and hit him. I tried to. I got some, like, mixed results. Like, I got, like, a down air, back air one on him. I was like, what the fuck? Like, that worked? Like, I was, like, surprised myself, but... I'm totally on board though. That was something we talked about a little bit in the last lesson, was to just go up there, like, to make sure to cover their, like, dash back or whatever when they're on top flat.
And it's just one of those things where it can get a bit boring if, you know, you're just spacing here, he's just jumping around, and he does all of these really bad double jumps that, like, you could be punishing. Like, if you call out even one of them, that's gonna A, give you a big reward, and B, it's gonna make him a lot more hesitant to do anything, right? Because he's like, well, if I try and jump off and hit him, then he's going to be out of my range. But if I jump away, then he's going to shine me. You know, it makes the fox have a lot of pressure on his mind, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the important part there is to make the decision once you see the jump. You can't see him go to the top platform and then be like, oh, I'm going to go up, because it's too late, right? Which I think we talked about a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all fine. Nice. Fortunate. Yep, so this is another one. The scrap. So you just whiffed a move. So I think that's another important thing with scraps is like knowing when they're about to come up, right? So like you just whiff this grab. So now you need to be thinking like, you know, he's probably going to try and hit me in some way. I need to defend against this. So this one was a bit weird because I think he gets like a Sakurai angle on this. Yeah, it's kind of a weird hit. But you can see how you would have had time to shine, right?
Yeah, I think I tried to roll or something, honestly. That's why my shield came up for a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd say this is one of those spots where, like, you know, you just whiff next to him, like we were saying. You know, just crouch if you think he's going to put out a move. And you just get a very easy shine here, I'd say. Because, you know, you get time to see the back air. And then you can just hold down. And if you don't think you have the right time, you know, keep holding down and look for a good spot to do it in, you know?
Yeah.
You don't always have to do it first time. Cool.
Yeah, I missed my dash back.
Yeah, nice.
One of the few okay at good.
Yep. Yep, good respawn. Okay, now he has to try and hit you. I have a couple of thoughts about this, I guess. I do think in one sense, sometimes it can be decent to stay under him here. Especially if you just have your, like, say you had your back turned here. Like, you know, you have access to up tilt if you see him run off, right? And you know, he's just waiting up here doing nothing, so again, we've got that discussion about, like, running up to shine him. Or jumping up to shine him, right?
Yeah, I think I was just very focused on just trying to catch him when he did come down, with like a laser or something. But
yeah, I mean, you got a good CC roll there.
Yeah, I do that a lot. It's decent.
Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, I think also like there's a couple times where like say you're here, for example, like I think you've done enough conditioning here that you can probably move to here pretty safely, right? Because he's just not been willing to jump down and hit you at all. And then once you're here, this is when you have a lot more threats, right? Because you know you can contest the top platform a lot easier with like full hop back air, right? Sort of covers this space. You know, you could dash under him if you wanted to. You could stay in the center. There's quite a few things there. Because, yeah, I feel like, you know, we're trying to space around him so much that we're ending up in the corner a little bit sometimes, like here.
Yeah.
Not as bad on Dreamland, but especially on a stage like Yoshi's or Fountain, this could go very badly, right? Because if you get shined here, yeah. Just something to think about there. Yes, yeah, really good. Cool. This is like so close to being really good.
Okay.
So I thought this bit was great. The backflip, empty land, great. But then it's how you chose to try and punish this drill. Because you see how like the bear sort of goes over him.
Yeah, like a grab would have like got him there for sure.
Yeah. So you wanted to do something that's going to hit a bit lower here, because you don't have time. Like you jump and react to this, right? So you've just seen him here. So by the time you put out a move, he's going to be all the way down here, right? Whereas, you know, the AC bay you were trying to do is covering, like, this sort of space, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you were going to jump, I would do, like, a delayed back air, maybe. That's also going to be better here because it's a bit easier to convert off of, right? Because less lag. But, yeah, grab, like you said, would be good. Just dash dancing and then, like, a down air or something could be amazing. But, yeah, I thought all of this was super good. It was just this part here, like, the final step, I thought was a bit off. Pretty good ledge dash.
Yeah, okay. Well, I hit like maybe 2 or 3 like sets, but
fair enough.
Yeah, I definitely got bodied for them, so missing them or just not doing them at all.
Yeah, it is hard, sure.
That's actually something I struggle with. Like, I practice ledge dashes, but I'm not great like implementing them in like these. I don't want to say this is like a high pressure set, but like a high stake set. Like this was like grand finals. You know?
Yeah,
so
I get
like,
you.
Oh, I don't want to miss a ledge dash, but yeah.
I think taking a bit more time on the ledge can be pretty good. Just doing a few more stalls. Like I think it's a very common thing that we try to rush these things and do only one stall and then just go. But if you need to, you know, do like 3 or 4. Really get your hands ready. And also, a lot of the time, you can usually see what the opponent's sort of planning, because they'll do the same thing sort of like 4 or 5 times in a row. So that gives you a lot more information to work with off of the ledge, right? But yeah, and then the other thing, if you don't do it already, is practicing ledge dashes not just from the ledge, but do the whole recovery sequence. Like, do the thing where it spawns you, like, here, and then do your recovery, and then the stall, and then the ledge dash, right?
Yeah, I do that sometimes, but like I usually just practice like the refresh wave more.
Yeah. So I thought this double jump waveland was great, but then I think again, sort of the action after. You hit.
We talked about this last time too. I was so mad when I was watching.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, like I could have like wave dashed like either direction off the platform, or just like
or even
anything
hold shield.
Other than shield drop.
Yeah, hold shield. Like if he does this bear, like you just shield drop shine him, and like he's in a really rough spot now. You know.
Yeah, I'm just such a noob. I'm a shield drop noob. I don't know why. I just love shield dropping when I'm on the platform.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those things. Like let's try and figure out like what that what it is that's making you do that, right? Like, what's the reaction or, like, the thing that's prompting it? Sometimes, like, I know for me, like, one of the things I have is just that whenever I do a waveland, I always want to just drop through again immediately. So, one thing I've trained in the past is just doing the waveland and then check what they did, right? So, like, here he dashed away.
Yeah.
But he's still close enough that he can potentially threaten the laser, right? So you need to sort of, like, account for that.
Yeah, I definitely thought I could just like drop through with a laser and just kind of go back to neutral from like laser him again. But
yeah. So like practicing some different movements out of the waveland can help as well.
Like if I did a wave dash back and then like lasered off the platform,
that could be
really good.
Yeah. Nice. Do you think it's worth talking about some punish game stuff, or do you just feel like you were playing a bit?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't playing great at this set, but I am not great at. Like, I was practicing against Fox like a few days before this tournament. I could actually feel like I was missing so much shit. I was like, oh my god, I actually suck against Fox.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 12.3.
Yeah, that's particularly bad.
Yeah, because I really feel. I mean, let's see if the stats reflect this, but I feel like so far you've been sort of destroying him in neutral. Yeah, neutral wins 25. Compared to 12.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Where I was like, it didn't feel terrible.
Yeah, it felt really
I am getting
good.
kind of bodied, but like.
Yeah, and I think if you'd have converted on like maybe 2 or 3 of these, a bit harder.
Yeah, that's actually something I want to ask you too. Is like against like better players like this, I find it really hard to just convert into like it's like their defensive options are like so good, or like I'm just not ready for when I do get a hit. Because like when I play against. Like 90% of the time, I play against people like worse than me, and I'll shoot like a laser or 2, and I'll jump in with like a shitty dare.
Yeah,
then, like, you know, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'll start my combo now. But like against these better players, like it's almost like I don't know when I'm going to get my big hits, so I'm not ready for the combo. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to really do about that.
Yeah, I think that definitely comes down to again that thing of sort of being more specific about your openings, right? So like. You know, that situation on the left side where we said about doing shield wave dash and shine, like that's a very specific read on like I'm going to hit him in this way, and I think the more of those you have rather than just the sort of generic like I'm going to throw out a move, that makes it a lot more likely that you're going to see when you're about to hit them, right? Or similarly with that one where he was full hopping when we did that AC bear, right? If you know that I'm going to hit this late bear here and you know, you've already done all the other parts to play around him, you can sort of confirm that you're going to get the opening, right? Yeah. I do think it's definitely worth talking about, because obviously that's the easiest way to beat someone, right? Is just to combo harder than them.
Yeah.
And you're definitely getting the openings, you know? So, we can watch a couple of these edge guards and then talk about that.
Oh, I was so mad that laser missed, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the main thing I was going to point out, was just The laser missing sort of screwed you up there. Yep. Yeah, this is another one, also a bit of a slight variation, but, you know, you had your back turned here, which is great. And again, if you see this and you think he's not going to actually, like, bite, you know, you can just full hop bear this, right?
Yeah.
So that's another variation. I know, obviously, we talked about the full hop shine at low percent, but the bear's also really powerful at high percent as well. Nice.
Yeah, because this was kind of different from when I played like Frog Chip in my previous lesson, because he was definitely very aggro, whereas Lewin is definitely
he doesn't want to.
Oh, yeah.
But again, he's not really like it's sort of like he's aware enough to know that he can't just jump off there and try and hit you, but he's also not. He's just sort of doing it anyway, and then sort of trying to fix the mistake, which is then still putting him in a bad spot, right?
Yeah.
He's not doing anything like, you know, maybe jump off but undershoots it to sort of bait you or something like that, you know? So it's definitely still, you know, you can take advantage of that. Nice.
There's that down arrow I was talking about. I don't know why I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, that was another one of those roll ones, right? So like here, you roll, he's whiffing bear. So this isn't your time to be defensive anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like, because he's whiffing the move. So you have to be really quick. Like, it can feel like, oh, I'm in a bad spot because I've just come off stage and I've rolled. But it can change in an instant, right? Like, as soon as he did this bear here, it's like, you now have the threat of you could just run up and grab him here. You know? Or, like, run up and down air. Or read a
I think I
jump,
was just afraid. Like, I did, like, the retreating, like, down air because I thought he'd just come at me, like, again right afterwards.
Yeah. But you're the one with the advantage and the frame advantage there, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, again, if we, what's it called? So, this happens. And then, yeah, I think you just back off a bit too far.
Yeah, I was scared for my life.
Yeah,
I want the distance. Please let me reset neutral. So yeah,
but
I should have shot that laser when I like empty hopped. But I was just like I got the kind of jump out, kind of like if that makes sense. But I didn't quite.
Yeah, it's an interesting problem because it does feel like and you know we just talked about how like scrapping is usually pretty bad with Fox. So it can feel like, oh, the further I am away, you know, the more likely I am to sort of like hit him and, you know, get a big opening and win the game, right? But also, you know, this situation here where he just whiffed the bear, this is also an amazing situation for you. And maybe one that's even better than being half screen away, you know? Because you still have, like, once you get that half screen away, you still have to hit Fox on Dreamland, which, you know, we've seen for this past game that he can just jump around the platforms if he if he wants to and make it really hard, right? So sometimes the close range like this, where you have advantage, is the moment to sort of go for it, rather than, you know, setting it up in the way you exactly want.
Yeah, like I was saying, like my game plan was really to just like try and get those lasers like safely, because that was something I was struggling with last time. So I really wanted to make sure that I was like
it is hard, like, to balance that, but then also taking, you know, what's there. Okay, let's go back to some of the punishes quickly, and then we can jump to the other one. The other VOD.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really much that.
Yeah, that was like
to talk about. That was that was all scrapping.
On both sides.
I love when that hits. Yeah, so I think that looked like one where you didn't know, right?
Yeah, so that was like the perfect example of like I get the dare and I shine. I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah,
so I don't have the waveland. Like,
yeah. So like with this one, I would say that like the whole point of doing this down air is to try and catch a wave dash back, right? Because you're not really going to catch anything else with this, or like a dash back, I guess would be the two things. Yeah. You know, if he jumps, he's going to get out of the way first. If he tries to like nair at you here, he's going to hit you first, right? Maybe if he tried to like shine, that would hit him as well. But yeah, I'd say the majority of things this down air is actually covering is sort of like retreating options, right? Because he wouldn't want to do this down air if he was like shielding, for example.
Yeah.
So again, I think the big thing here is like being specific about what am I trying to hit, right? Because you're not hitting the end leg of this nair anymore, right? Because it's going to be over by the time you even get there. You're thinking about what's he doing after. Is he going this way? Is he throwing at a move? Is he jumping? You know, like all of these things, right? And you need to make a decision on those. So I think once you break it down a bit more like that, and think about what I'm actually covering with this aerial that I'm about to do, or whatever option, that's when you'll be a lot more ready to, you know, convert off of those hits, right?
Yeah.
So I thought this one, I thought you had a good reaction to just backflip and then empty land here. I thought you could have up tilted potentially here on this one. Because well, not the whole point, but a lot of the reason for just jumping out of this but then doing nothing is so that you have access to your grounded options, right?
Yeah.
Because you could have just double jumped bed if you wanted to out of that short hop. But yeah, I think up tilting would probably give you the biggest follow up here compared to a back air that's just going to lead to like a tech chase here. Obviously you missed the tech, so there was some, you know, value to it.
Yeah.
But I'd probably look for that there.
Like, it did work, but it wasn't like the best option.
Yeah. And then playing around the crouch here. I would personally just crouch after that, but I like the bait on the get up attack as well.
Yeah, I do that crouch on get up attack a lot.
Yeah. And then this is fine, remember. I think, just a random thought, but I think another way you could play this situation if you wanted to be a bit safer, but still not put yourself in the corner, would just be to run forward with a shield. And then that way, if he tries to like drop through with something, you can play out of shield, right? But if he stays up there, that's when you then have the threat of like going up and shining him or something like that. I think that could be a pretty, you know, decent way to play it as well.
What would Fox do in those situations if I like ran in shield? Like, would he just be like, would he try to come down with like a space back air or something? Like,
yeah, I'd say that's probably the best thing he has. He doesn't really have a safe way to hit the shield. He could try and like execution test you with like a drill, or he could try and, you know, like drop down with like I don't know, like a fast fall nair or something. But all of those aren't that great and don't give him like an immediate, you know, hit. And if he hits the shield in the wrong way, because a lot of the time if they're trying to hit a laser, then they're going to be unsafe on the shield, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, if he's just dropping through with, like, Nair here, for example, if you ever did, like, you know, a crouch in some way or something, like, you know, you get a CC Shine big opening, right? So it's actually kind of hard for him to hit you in shield there without taking a massive risk, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So the next one. It's fine. I don't know what to think about this one. Let me let me watch it a few times. It's not something I usually go for, so I'm a bit. It's like so new to me.
What would you do if you knocked him down on the platform like that? Would you just like crouch or something?
Yeah, so I thought the drop through was fine. I think what's sort of confusing me a bit is I would usually shine on this side here, and then, I don't know if you've seen me do it, but then I would waveland here. And
yeah,
the reason
you're so good at that,
man. Yeah, no, but this is the exact reason, right? Because if he DIs this way, right, then he just ends up over here, and you just jump off and down at him. But if he goes this way, then you just waveland up here and then go from there, right? Or you short hop off and up air or something like that. But you can see that the way you played it here, like, watch what happens, right? So you jump off and you're trying to go left to read him DIing left. But then you don't get anything on the DI right.
Yeah.
So that was my sort of like concern there. I mean, you are playing a 50-50 in some way, but I think just picking the shine side a bit better here would help out. And I also feel like if he DI'd this way here, you'd still have a hard time converting off of this, I think.
Yeah, because I didn't waveland or anything.
You just jump up right. So I think if you're going to do that jump that you did, I'd want you to shine on his left side. So that his DI in puts him like here, right? And then he's right on top of you. And you can, do whatever you want, right? Because at least then you're hard covering one DI, Whereas if you're going to shine on this side, then I feel like you're predicting that he's going to go this way. Does that make sense? So it's really up to you, which way you want to play that.
Yeah, no, it's the reason like why when we go for like dare shine when we're first learning Falco combos, like we wave shine the direction we send Fox. So that makes sense. We can cover every option. It's like that, but on the platforms.
Yeah.
I don't even think I was thinking about that honestly when I was going for the shine. I just went for it.
It's one of those things where like on the platform tech chase here, we're so concerned about just hitting Fox with anything that we sort of don't think about which side we're going to hit on, right? But again, that's a very big opportunity for an opening. The other thing you could do here, you could do this down air, and then you could just stay on the platform, right? Because you're invincible, so you don't have to worry about get up attack or anything like that.
Yeah, I actually think this was situation where like, I didn't think the down air was going to hit, so like I went for like a shield down air immediately afterward, or not? I didn't
just shield through.
I dropped down right after.
Yeah, and I mean it was a good adaptation for sure. But again, it's sort of just like if we're going for this commitment anyway, why are we also thinking that it's not going to work?
Yeah.
Like if you didn't think it was going to work, don't don't do it in the first place, right?
Yeah, true. I don't know. I just got some weird mental block.
Yeah.
These foxes, like, they're good foxes, and I like have to try and like play super safe or whatever. So
yeah. But you got to take a commitment at some point to hit him, right? You can't just run away forever. This is fine. Because just talking about that the playing safe thing as well. Like I'd say something like this F tilt is usually seen as like quite a low risk mid reward sort of thing, right? If you get this F tilt, you get a decent edge guard. But then on the flip side, if he's getting to up smash you for something like that, then I feel like you may as well have just taken a bigger risk. If you want to put a move out here, why not just like late aerial into him or something, at least get some bigger reward for the commitment you're making. And if you want to be safe, just wait here, throw out lasers, whatever. I think it's very easy to get trapped into this, like, I'm just going to sort of like half commit because I'm, like, I don't want to take the risk to go in fully,
Yeah.
So that's just something to think about. Yeah, this is a kind of hard edge guard to get, I'd say. Just because he's quite high and he has his double jump, right?
Yeah.
I'd say the easiest way to call this side B out specifically, because it's quite a common one, right? Because they want to edge cancel. Would just be to try and set up a back air a bit earlier, or dare. So like you could short hop off here, or dash short hop, go about here, and then you could either shine turn around and then back air, or you could do like a double jump down air, right? And this is as a read, because you can't really like react to this that easily here. You could set up a shine stall bear if you want, but A, it's net play, B, it's really hard. C is really close, you know, so I'd say it's probably easier to just read it here, honestly. But yeah, that's really the only good way you have to contest this, because if you sort of wait for him to go here and then try and bear, you don't really get that much of a reward, right? Because Dreamland's so big. He has the chance to tech, you know, there's lots of things there. So again, I'd just say like try and hardcore it out a bit more, jump to this spot. And then you don't have to always commit to that from here, right? You could always, you know, double jump back with lasers or something, or shine turn around, go to the ledge, you know, there's like quite a few things there. Nice. Do you feel like you mix up sometimes here with like a weak hit, or not usually?
No, probably not. I'll probably do like every time.
Okay,
I'm not gonna lie to
you. yeah. So all I'd say here is sometimes you want to either forward air or weak back air.
Yeah.
Just because again, if he DIs a bear in on Dreamland, like he's barely even off stage. You know, like it's pretty tragic, but that is. And I think something people don't realize as well, and this contributes a bit to the edge guarding thing, is if you're not mixing up your combos enough, and your opponent's always DIing them well, this sort of edge guard happens a lot, where he's really high up, he's really close, and it makes the edge guard a lot harder, right? Whereas if he'd have DI'd away on this bear, then the edge guard's basically free, right? Because he's so low down.
Yeah.
So it's not just, you know, the he DI's in on the combo and then I get the kill. It's also the flip side where he's DIing bad on the strong hit and then you get a better edge guard, right? It's just something to keep in mind. Cool. Okay, let's swap over to the next one just because got like 20 minutes or so.
All right.
So which one of these would you say was a bad one, I guess? I think
in the first set, either the first or the third game were really bad.
Okay.
In the second set, I felt like I played better just across the board, but like I didn't do like amazingly or anything. Like I wasn't close to beating any of the games like that one there.
Okay.
Ready? Go!
I just want to do this again, see if there is any like general like neutral stuff. But... I'm surprised how much that F-Tilt's working with us, to be honest, but good on you for getting it to work. People always sweet spot that versus me.
Well, you're probably playing people way better than people I play, so.
Oh, that's tragic. Okay, I'll keep watching and then we can go back through.
Yeah, I missed my dash back there.
Yeah, it does seem like a lot of just like little execution flips in the punish game that's costing you. Like, it seems like you know like roughly what you want to do. But...
yeah, like, I do practice against like punish game of box. It's just very difficult. So.
Do you when you do it, do you change up like the percents you're comboing at, and like how you're starting the combo and those sorts of things, or is it just going to combo training Fox at 0?
No, I don't do 0. Sometimes I do kind of like low percent, like 20ish, and sometimes I do like 50-ish, but I keep the DI on like random, which I don't know.
Yeah.
Or not, but
no, I think that's fine. I think the important part is, you know, doing it off of like approaching laser shine or like wave dash back shine or shine out of shield. You know, like all those different ways you're opening them up, right? Like practice it from.
I don't know. It's just something I have like a lot of tech. Is I'm not great at like implementing the stuff I practice. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say this game he's just sort of gotten like much bigger, cleaner openings. Is like the best way I can put it. Cool. Okay. I mean, that game you only got 2 stocks as well. I mean, let's look at the stats, but... Four neutral wins to 11. 6 to 4.3. Yeah, I thought all this was fine. Again, this is another one where I think you could just run under him sometimes, because he's so focused on hitting you over here, right? Oops.
Yeah.
That's not where I wanted to be. Like here. That if you just sometimes like run under preemptively, especially because on Battlefield, and I think Battlefield's the main one, there isn't that space between the platforms for him to run off, right, really? I mean, there sort of is, but not a lot of people will run off and then fast fall through the platform here with a move. Yeah. Compared to like Dreamland. But yeah, that can be a way to sort of like Uno reversal card the situation. So the recovery was great. This is a great idea, and then slightly mistimed the forward smash.
Yeah, I was so greedy with that, I guess. But
no, I thought it was good. I think it just needed a little bit more specific, right? Like if you're gonna do this,
maybe greedy wasn't the right word. Maybe more desperate would be better.
I thought it was a fine read, honestly, just because like if it does hit, it gets a kill, and like he's not been sweet spotting, right? So
yeah.
And you know, if you were like just a couple of frames earlier with this, later, then like I think reading the jump there is fine. Yeah, another platform thing there we said, right? Like after you whiff this, you know, sometimes you can just full hop away if you want to.
Yeah, I don't know why I do these down there. It's so bad. Like if I was going to go down, I should have at least lasered or something. Like maybe it could have worked. But...
Yeah. Again, like if you're gonna try and hit him in a spot like this, just be more specific. You know, dash and then shield drop and then hit him back here, right? Or like jump off this way with a laser, or you know, something like that. Again, I want you to just sort of start to be a bit more specific about what options you're picking in some of these situations, I guess, and like why you're picking them, I guess, more so than just like I was trying to hit him, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to think about it though.
It is. Yeah, but I think as long as if you just start to build up, like for example in this spot, like if you think, okay, he's playing around my down air, so what can I do to play around that, right? Like if you just start to think about like what counters the level 1 option, and think about what you can do versus that, then I think that will really help. Cool. I think there's just some problems with DI there, honestly. So like this one, I think he could have DI'd away and then maybe teched in place, and I didn't think he could follow up. And then same on these hits as well. Yeah, I think that was the one you said about before, right?
Yeah, those. I don't know why I'm doing those. But...
Yeah, I mean, the thing to replace it with is just to fast fall after it, because you're slipping off, right? So then you're just going to either fall to the ground or fall to the ledge. And he's not concerned with trying to hit you, right? He's not going like this because he doesn't want to get down it. He wants to set up shop so that you can play around this double jump, right?
Yeah, part of the reason is I'm just not ready for that. Like, I didn't think I'd slide off there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, with that one, I'd say the reason you can know pretty well is just like, so you DI'd away on an up smash here, right? And you can just tell from sort of like your trajectory. And if you're not sure that the tech is going to cause you to slide off, you can at least just miss tech here, and then you'll slide off after, right?
Yeah, it's like, because it just feels. I know that when you do tech in place, you still slide off if you have momentum.
Yeah, some momentum.
Like, it feels like you don't, right?
You don't.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. Yes, whatever. Oh, I guess another big thing with it as well is you want to assess whether you're going to edge cancel like now, rather than seeing yourself do it and then being like, oh, I edge cancel. You know?
Yeah, that's definitely what I did there.
That laser missing was tragic.
Yeah, I like getting the laser
the reset there.
It's pretty juicy, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was another one. I think a big thing that messed you up here was, so you get the shine, which is great, cross them up, which is great. Then what I would do here is dash right first, and then dash back in, right? Because then you're going to be jumping at him like this. Yeah. And you're on the correct side of him because you have that platform to go to here. And you also have momentum going this way, right? Yeah. Whereas when you try to just dash immediately here and go the other way, like you're going this way, but he's going to be going the other way, right?
Yeah,
and so it's really hard to get to him
again for some reason.
Yeah. But you crossed him up in a spot where like he doesn't want to go left anymore because he sees that you're on the left, you know.
Yeah.
So I think throwing in that dash dance and really, just like preparing the combo a bit better, right? Because you have a lot of time here to wait, and it also what it does is it lets him fall down a bit, which makes the combo a bit easier, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you've heard it before. It's like milking the hit stun, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the reason why you want to go for that there.
Yeah, I just hate that spot where like Fox is in right now. You know, where like it's ambiguous whether he's gonna fall on the platform or like just fall next to him. Like I swear, like the bot like has me like on. Like where he does that shit all the time. I'm like, damn man.
Yeah,
I'm just not good at like those
judging it. Yeah. I mean, I think again that might be another one where like it's sort of similar to the edge cancel spot, where it's like you maybe just need to try and get a better sense of how the characters are going to like fall and the physics, I guess. But I think it's something that like the more you look out for it, the easier it will be to sort of distinguish what's going to happen. But again, the other thing the dash dance does here is, say he does land on the platform, right? You can still do a tech chase from here as well. So yeah, I think it's just like sort of good practice to do that, to set yourself up a bit better. You know, sometimes you have to go fast in combos, but sometimes you can also like sort of slow it down a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to spend the last, like 5-10 minutes talking about edge guarding a bit, or do you want to just keep going?
Or is there something else? Do you think there's anything really that we could talk? I mean, it probably always is something in like wise anyway, but
yeah.
Maybe we should do edge guarding just a little bit, so I have some sort of idea, really. Like, is there some sort of flow chart for Falco that I don't know about?
It just depends a lot on the specific situation, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Let me just
the classic media answer.
Yeah, literally, it depends.
Yeah,
it sucks, but it's how it is. There wasn't really any examples in the last one, so... Okay, so this one... You wait for the down side B, which is good. I think the main thing here would just be to grab the ledge and edge guard from the ledge. So you're waiting for side B here, which is fine, and then as soon as you see him drop lower, that's when you just go to grab the ledge here. And then from the ledge, I would just do like a drop down shine, like sort of around here, and that would sort of catch that angle, right? And if he goes straight up, then you just re-grab the ledge after from the shine.
Yeah. But would you do like a shine back air or down air, or
yeah, shine back
wait
air
until the shine hits? Or...
so like on this stage, I would probably have shine bear, but on some stages, like say on Yoshi's, for example, if you shine him down here and then jump back on stage, you can sometimes set up like full hop shine up B or something like that. You know, so it really. It depends a bit on like the percent and that sort of thing.
Would you have enough time on this situation to like wave dash back and then fast fall past ledge and back air him? Like double jump back air, or like the zoo thing where you just back air immediately? Like, is that
I would say it depends.
Risky, like?
It depends on, so like here, if you were planning to just down smash a side B here, and then you're reacting to this up B, then no. But if you saw him do that double jump, and then were like, I think he's going to fall low, then you would have time.
Okay, yeah.
So I think the main, again, like sort of the main issue there is like what you're reacting to and what you're expecting, and that sort of dictates what options you have time for. But I mean, I also like the idea to down air here. I think you probably just want to turn around and do it. It's like the really simple thing here. Yeah. I mean, if you were trying to cover this angle, then you probably want to back air instead here. But yeah, it's just a bit of a weird spot. Let's go out here, or... Nope. Okay. I like the idea here. So you do the down air to try and sort of like cover one set, and then you do the forward smash, which covered everything other than to the ledge.
Yeah, honestly, I think that F smash was just a bit desperate. Like after he teched it, I was like, oh shit, I'm just gonna throw out something. Hopefully
it's kind of a hard spot to cover a lot of Fox's options in, to be honest, especially the straight angle here. So a couple of things you can throw in here which make it a bit harder for Fox. So first of all, so you do this down air really low, right? Or kind of low. It sort of hits sort of around here, right? So one thing you can do, which you might have seen Mango do sometimes, is you can just double jump on stage and then down smash him. Because he's doing his tech input like around here. So by the time he gets all the way up here, he won't be teching anymore.
Yeah.
So
and that's locked out from like going for it.
Yeah. The hard part with that is you need to sort of choose you're gonna do it like now, I'd say. So you grab ledge, you make it look like you're gonna edge guard from the ledge, but you double jump off immediately here, and then you go up and down smash. And you can see that he's gonna go above stage here, I think, with this angle, essentially. So that's also a factor. Again, you could go for that shine bear as well. That could be decent here, because you can sometimes catch them during the wall jump tech animation.
Yeah.
Yep, I'd say that's the main things I'd say there. The two things you can probably do.
Yeah.
Let's look at one of the other ones quickly. Set 1 game 1.
Ready?
Well, if we watch this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Okay.
Set 2 game 1 maybe? Set 1 game 3. Let's watch that one.
Okay.
Ready? Go!
I'm surprised he didn't laser on that one, to be honest. I don't know if you...
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I did the short hop. Like,
yeah, that's why I was a bit confused. Because this is one of those spots where it's a really good laser as well, because they DI'd away, right? So then they're so low down that they can't jump above the laser anymore, especially if you shoot, like, up here.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I just thought that he was like an instant side B, so I think.
Yeah.
So then maybe, but I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
I can't tell you.
So I thought that was fine. But then, yeah, I thought like the second one was a bit unnecessary, I guess. And it sort of threw off your timing. Because I think if you were just standing still there, you'd have a much better chance to, like, edge guard this.
Yeah.
So in my mind here, like, if you're not lasering the up B here, then you're either looking to cover this angle or a high angle, I'd say. I mean, sometimes they'll go straight, but most players will only do one of those two angles, probably. Or I guess you have this one. So one thing that can be really good here is if you go low enough, you can do run off and then double jump down air. And that will cover both ledge and this sort of straight-ish angle. And that can be pretty good. If you want to... I honestly think, like, in my opinion, the best thing to do here is just to hard read one of the angles and just try and get a kill on it. So, like, if you think he'll go ledge, go low and down air, or just turn around and grab the ledge. If you think he'll go high, just, like, full hop and down air.
Do you have to read it when you're edge guarding Fox? Like, there's no like, oh, he didn't side B, so now I should do something else. Like, just don't have enough time.
Yeah, you still. It's usually the case that, like, if you're trying to cover both side B and up B, you can only cover some of the up B angles. You can't cover all of them. But if you're just,
I think that's the problem I'm having. Is like I'm trying to like
cover.
Like I waited for him to up B, and I see he's up Bing, but I'm kind of getting like my crosses like mixed up or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So if you predict he's going to up B, then that's when you can, and you don't care about the side B, then that's when you can do shit like just jump out and like double jump down air him or something. Sort of like I'm sure you've seen None just like jump out and knee, right?
Yeah.
So that's just a hard read on like he's just going to up B and I'm just going to hit him for it, right? But yeah, if you're trying to cover side B and then they up B, a lot of the time you can't cover all of the angles. Because they just have too much variation, right? Like this angle is very different to going to ledge or going straight, you know? You can sometimes get coverage on like maybe half of them or something. But it's never coverage on all of them really. Unless it's again the situation where they're like maybe down here or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just sort of being like accepting that you can't cover everything and just covering the other things in the best way you can, I think is the sort of the best way to go about it. And you know what you did on this one was fine because you know you covered straight, and then if he went high, you could have like back at him or something, right? But it's just to say that sometimes you know you might want to read the ledge here, especially versus box foxes that love going to the ledge, right?
I don't know. I guess I'm just afraid to like go off stage.
Yeah, I mean it can feel like it sucks sometimes, but also you know you don't want to never kill him there, you know.
Yeah.
I was looking for a back air.
Yeah.
That's usually how the edge guard starts. So back air. Yep. Yeah, I thought this was fine. You maybe want to full up shine here instead of naring. But I like the idea of, you know, lasering to cover low and then jumping to cover high.
Yeah, I was trying to get the low angle with that. I don't know if I had enough time though.
Yeah, no, I thought that was fine how you timed it here, to be honest. I think you would have hit him. Okay, let's watch it for the final one quickly. Set 2, game 2. But yeah, I think that's usually the big thing that messes people up is they try to cover everything in spots where it's just a mix-up. And there's not really... Like, there are spots where you can cover everything, but they're a lot rarer than a lot of people believe, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like just doing F-throw and then just short hop laser here, honestly. Just because it covers all of this height, right? And if they do try and side B like low, for example, you can still just like down smash after the laser. So I think that can be pretty good here. Just because stuff like this up tilt, right? Like watch what happens off of the up tilt. So he's off stage, you up tilt, and now he's inside stage, right?
Yeah.
Which isn't great. Like, as an aside also, like, watch how he edge guards you here, right? Like, so he's on ledge, and now he's covering high and straight, right? But he's given up the ledge. So he's not covering everything here, you know? And that's sort of how you want to sort of approach it as well.
Yeah.
Same there, he covered low but not high. And that's, like, not him being bad at edge guarding, it's just sort of how it is, you know? What happened here? That's just unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know what fuck happened there, but
yeah, that's right.
That was weird. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, no, I think there's quite a lot of things there. Then I thought that was quite good. Yeah, so I'd say the main thing is just to recap, and I'll do the summary while we're at it. So in terms of practice, I'd say we talked a little bit about being more specific with how you're intending to hit the opponent. Reading a specific option. Specific options. Talked a little bit about playing mix-ups when you're edge guarding rather than trying to cover everything.
Yeah.
Talked about sort of waiting for the right moments in the scrap to shine, right? Instead of just like trying to just do it immediately.
Yeah.
Thinking more about which side of shine you hit on in platform combos. I'd say that was the main ones, I think. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. I guess like that platform waveland situation came up a bit as well. So actions out of wave landing to the platform instead of immediately dropping back through. Cool. Okay. So next time, usually what I do in these sorts of like matchup bundles or whatever is we'll watch like a VOD like this, but we'll watch it from the Fox perspective instead. So yeah, if you can just get a similar VOD for next time, I'd say that would be sort of the best way to go about it. Yeah.
I'll try. And if you don't hear from me for like a month or two, feel free to just
no problem. No, there's no rush with it. It doesn't, like expire or something. So
so I'm just very patient. I was like, whatever, it's grand.
For a while. I thought this was a really good VOD, so I think it definitely was worth it.
Because Lewin's like I've played Lewin before in like some of these net play brackets, but he's been playing like Sheik and like Young Link and stuff. So it's like he brought the Fox back
First
recently.
time.
So
he's getting really good. So it's hard.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I'll see you next time then.
Thanks for everything. So
no problem.
I'll see you when I see you.
See ya.